Tom, good morning. A couple days out here from an Arkansas A&M game, and this is going to be the final time you got to trek down to Arlington to watch this game on the schedule each year.
Morning, Tommy, and hello, everyone. Yeah, that's right. I'll be writing about that on Saturday, kind of a little bit of a history of the series, and I've been doing some research today. These teams are very close in the all-time series until the day Frank Broyles was hired, and then he won 12 out of 13, and that's when Arkansas kind of took command. But the Aggies have had command since the series moved to Arlington. Bobby Petrino's teams won the first three, including a great comeback in 2011 when Tyler Wilson set the school passing record with 510 yards. Darius Wright had a big day, but the Aggies have been really – and it's been so excruciating with all the overtime and the close losses. And the Razorbacks to salvage a little bit of something if they can have the trophy, the final trophy from the series down there.
We've been talking this morning that you win this game and then you can start having visions of, I'm not saying 9 or 10 wins but you could at least maybe see 8 on the horizon. You can really see a conversation beyond just the bar or the bare minimum of being bowl eligible. But I don't know how you can even think about anything 6+ without winning this game. And I don't want to get cart in front of horse, but when I look through the rest of this schedule, this is on the end of more winnable games than tougher opponents for me, at least.
It really is. And I mean, if you just took a snapshot of right now, Arkansas would only be favored, I would suppose, against Mississippi State, maybe on the road, and Louisiana Tech at home.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, getting bowl eligible from the very beginning would mean you're upsetting teams that are favored to beat you. But I think if you just take the moment of the Oklahoma State game, which they should have won, which would obviously make bowl eligibility a lot easier for them. We have a different view of Arkansas, but the schedule still holds. All these teams that are ranked high in the top 10, top 15 are all playing here. I mean, every home game is going to against a team that's highly regarded and well ranked, and then you still have road games against Missouri and Mississippi State after this one. So, yeah, I would say that for bowl eligibility purposes, if you win this one, you're in much better shape.
Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, Whole Hog Sports with us here every Tuesday and Thursday in the Morning Rush. Tom, injury updates came out. Sam Pittman spoke on the teleconference. He had Andrew Armstrong, which was great to see with him last night, who took a vicious hit in that game but still finished out the game. Little update on Hudson Clark. What were your takeaways from what Coach had to say yesterday and what was released in regards to injury updates?
Right. I wrote about it some in today's paper. The Ty Washington was a bit of a surprise, and Tyrell Reed. But I can't remember exactly what happened to Ty, but I wrote it down. He was dinged up, I think, in the second quarter, and I just put a notation on my book, 8 is injured, and I can't remember if it was back or leg or just what. But he came back in the game, and he was actually in on the final Jaquindon Jackson touchdown that took the long review and actually blocked a guy and then helped push Jaquindon across the goal line. So I'd like to think he's probably going to be ready to play. Whatever happened to Tyrell Reed probably was at practice this week. But Clark and Braxton, moving closer to helping out in the secondary that really held up. And they gave up a few big plays, but held up for the most part against Auburn.
Yeah. Luke Haas, he came up in the conversation on Monday. His question about, the lack of targets and, kind of where he fits into Bobby Petrino's offense. I thought Coach Pittman's answer was interesting that, hey, this is about protection, and right now they're trying to figure out a way to protect the quarterback better. Do you think this is a week that the tight end, and particularly Luke, gets a little more of a look in the offense?
Well, I can't be positive of that, but what he was talking about, it certainly all fits together. Like if Taylor Green has got pressure in his face pretty immediately, it's just harder to stay on schedule, where the ball is supposed to go. I mean, Has was open on one particular play. I remember for certain. I saw it watching replay, and it just came low. And so we know that he's targeted. We know that they know he's he's a great talent. And really, I think the structure of a Bobby Petrino offense is a little bit deeper routes, and there's more of the, for instance, the 4th-and-1 play action pass. If Jaquindon Jackson blocks his guy, who knows where that goes, but it can't happen because he's sacked. And so there's a number of plays where there's immediate pressure and he orchestrates something like the Satania touchdown. But I just think that, more and more repetitions with Has and, Broden, for instance, they keep trying to throw the deep balls to Broden. They're just not connecting. Yeah. And then one that didn't connect led to a pass interference call that was the biggest play of that touchdown drive. So it's, folks I've talked to in the industry say that a Bobby Petrino offense, it takes a while for the O-line, the protection schemes and the quarterbacks and the calls to all kind of get on one page. So the fact that they were so fluid in that Oklahoma State game so early was like, okay, this could really be something. But we're seeing now against SEC defenses that it takes a while. And at some point, Has is going to get some action, and that we know.
Arkansas's defense really played a pretty superb game, and the turnovers from Auburn, certainly didn't hurt the effort. And I think a lot of people, if you just ask randomly, would probably give you pretty glowing remarks and maybe a high B or a low A to Arkansas's defense. But Tom, when you look at the numbers, the passing defense is 16th in the SEC, 98th nationally. Total defense right now, 11th in the SEC, 57th in the country. Kind of where do you stand with the defense right now that is certainly going to get its challenges downfield and beyond the line of scrimmage on Saturday?
It will. And so the numbers, when you get 5 takeaways, it hides some of the numbers.
Right.
And you heard Hugh Freeze carping after the game that, we outgained them by almost 100. Well, that's true. But 70 of those came on that last drive when they're just dunking down the field and nothing came of it. They also had several other drives that wound up resulting in turnovers and such. So, you can live with the statistics being, not so favorable if you win games and if you win the turnover margin. But certainly A&M is going to try to pound on them when their run game. And if Arkansas can't fit their gaps properly and stuff the run the way they did against Oklahoma State, then it could wind up being a long game because they've just got bigger O-linemen who can wear you down.
Yeah, because passing offense for Texas A&M, just for the comparison, and we're going to talk about Arkansas's pass defense, A&M's passing offense, 161 yards a game. That's 6th in the SEC and 35th nationally. In total offense, 10th in the league, 53rd nationally with just over 417 yards a game. So I would fully expect, it doesn't take a genius to look at a stat page and say, you know what, might want to dial up a few more passes this week against the Razorbacks.
Well, right. But it's such a bread and butter for them. And Reed, clearly Marcelo Reed has been a better running quarterback than Wegman was. Yeah. So we'll see what they do. There's going to be play action. They're going to get that Swedish tight end involved, that, and they have talented receivers. So, they'd like to be balanced, but I think A&M would really like to control the game with their running attack.
All right, last one before we go. Playing indoors, obviously a roof that's going to control the environment, control the wind, all of those things. And then also the return game, looking up into a ceiling and a scoreboard. How does playing this game and this environment affect special teams? That's really been, probably more of a challenge this year than a plus for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, certainly the return game. They've kind of, the few kickoff returns they've tried, they've gotten tackled inside the 25 a good bit. So it looks like they've backed off trying to do those. And then Satania against UAB had, I thought, a real opportunity to return a punt. And I don't know what his decision is based on, looking at the guys coming down or what have you, but they just haven't done a lot there. But certainly the field goal game could be better. There's just been too many misses inside 45 yards. But Devin Bale's been a tremendous punter, and those guys are probably going to be aiming for that big scoreboard. I know a few have hit it, but Bale gets some pretty high punts. And he was a captain at Auburn, and he ends up making a tackle. And I don't know what the refs were looking at. He got run into, and really I think it was roughing because his leg was still in the air, and they didn't call it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.